Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, dementia in old age is the biggest cause of death in the UK. But in some families, extremely rare gene mutations can cause Alzheimer's disease in middle age. Now, experts believe that studying the development of the disease in such families could hold the key to the treatment in the future. There are currently thought to be around 500,000 people in the UK living with Alzheimer's. It's thought that in around 1% of cases, the disease is a genetic inheritance passed down through the family. Those who inherit Alzheimer's find that it often develops in their 40s and 50s. Our medical correspondent Fergus Walsh spoke to two families with a history of Alzheimer's, both of whom are taking part in a new trial.
I'm almost just waiting for the first sign, really. The minute you forget something, the minute you can't find your car keys.
Sophie Leggett from Suffolk has a 50-50 chance of having inherited a rare gene for Alzheimer's. She's now around the same age symptoms first emerged in her mother and aunt. And if Sophie has the early onset gene, she could also have passed it on.
It's really scary. I can almost cope with the thought that it could happen to me. What I can't cope with is the thought that if it happens to me, then it could happen to my daughter. That's my big thing, and I don't think I will ever come to terms with that possibility.
But what does her 16-year-old daughter think?
It's not like a taboo thing to talk about. I know a lot about it. I think it's brought us closer together. We've always been close, but closer. And I think just cherish every day, really.
Hi.
Families from all over the world who carry rare Alzheimer's genes are in London for a major conference, like the DeMoes from North Dakota. Dean has early onset Alzheimer's, but is still able to work full-time.
I think I'm doing all right. Yeah, I just live day by day with it and keep moving on, and I think I'm doing well.
Two of Dean's brothers and a sister died from dementia in their mid-50s. Dean is 54. The fear now is for their children.
We are here because we don't want to watch another generation have to go through what my husband and his father and his grandmother have gone through. I worry for my husband, but that fear of the unknown for our children. And we will find a cure.
Dean's son, Tyler, has been tested for the faulty gene, but like Sophie, has chosen not to know the results.
It's a life-changing thing. If you find out, it's not only you finding out, it's your family finding out, you know, and the repercussions it has on them.
Both families are part of an international trial testing Alzheimer's drugs. Sophie has an infusion every month. They're playing a vital role in the search for treatments.
From them we understand the biomarkers, the changes in the body that happen, so you can see the disease before it ever causes symptoms. And finally, from them, hopefully, we will find a treatment that works in that group, and we can therefore extrapolate that to the Alzheimer's population in general.
There is still no drug which can slow the progress of Alzheimer's disease. In the past year alone, 2 major clinical trials ended in failure. Despite that, there is now real optimism that decades of research will bear fruit. And for families with Alzheimer's genes, that would lift a shadow over future generations. Fergus Walsh, BBC News.